We're going to take a look at a very helpful website for genealogy research and communications today, FindaGrave.com. Select Begin New Search. This is the Wikipedia of burial sites. Let's do a search to find a member's record. At this point, we might know only the member's name. The search engine is very flexible, but unlike Ancestry, if it doesn't match, it won't give you the ones that are close. The more you know, the more specific the records returned, the fewer you have to read through. Select Search. In this case, there are only 3 in the whole world, and yes, it is a global database. If you put in Smith, it would tell you it found too many records to display, so you'd need to enter additional information. The most common is state and then county in the United States. The family is centered in New Jersey, so that's the best bet. Select the New Jersey entry at Chestnut Hill Cemetery. This is an example of a basic record. It includes only the information that would be available from the information at the cemetery on the headstone, if it is there and readable. Birth, not known, and death date fields, and the name of the cemetery. This is a public system, so these records can be added by anyone. While you have to register in order to add a record, there is no cost. You'll see the missing information as we look at other examples. If we look at the link to the profile of the person who added the record, Howard Rogers, it might give us some indication as to his relationship to the person. Howard has added over 5,000 memorials and manages most of them. This might be his family members, but since no personal information was added to Fred's record, it's unlikely. Returning to the Ditmar record through the Browser Back button, we'll take a look at the Edit tab through which you may submit information, updates, add photos, add notes, or engage sponsorship, i.e. send them money, to remove advertising from the record. You may have to be registered to submit updates. These entries generate a request to the creator, Howard Rogers, of the record, who will update the record. He might instead give the maintenance of this record to you if you are a family member and willing to assume the responsibility. More on that later. Back on the Memorial tab, we selected the link to the Chestnut Hill Cemetery record. You'll notice some links and stats on the number of records. The internments represent the records in FindaGrave and may not be the actual count of internments in the cemetery. They are very unregulated. There may be requests from family members out of the area to take a picture of headstones as a positive location for their tree members, another reason to get out and investigate. This is also where you go to add a new name to the cemetery should you find your relative not included and you know they are there. I found this with my father's record, so I am the creator. There may be some pictures. These records, too, could have been added by anyone. Cemeteries are managed or not based on laws, rules, or chaos that exist differently in every county, in every state, in every country. Most of the small cemeteries, and many large ones, have no idea this website exists. Let's look at the profile of the person who added the cemetery picture, Kate. And another contributor's profile is displayed, which provides some very interesting information. This one includes an introduction, which is mostly site rules related. It also indicates that Kate has added more than 134,000 records. Her hobby, or maybe her job, is adding records to the system. Users can submit spreadsheets for additions as well as one at a time. You'll notice she only manages 131,000 of these records, so she too has added many and then given many to family members or other contributors that agreed to manage the record. This changes the update request to be sent to the record manager family member versus the record creator. As you learn the system, these other statistics will prove of interest as well. We returned to the cemetery record and selected the Map tab. This brings up a Google map with the cemetery location. Keep in mind these cemeteries must have been added to the Google map, also a wiki-type public function. When you come across a family cemetery in an obituary, it may not be in Google, particularly if it is pre-1900, or it may be at the wrong place in Google. I have spent hours looking for these cemeteries. We return to the Info tab at the Chestnut Hill Cemetery to do a search of my family members among the 647 records included. Select Search. 10 Van Arsdales, 5 generations, and all are my wife's family members. Let's take a look at Charles Happy Van Arsdale, my wife's father. This is a much more complete record. We have the places associated with the birth and death events, a biography or story about Happy, and links to other FindaGrave family members, parents, spouses, siblings, and children. Nope, not yet. They're all still alive. Bingo! We just found 5 generations defined in one place, So FindaGrave is yet another search engine for genealogy, particularly when family members take ownership of the records. It is also a place to tell the family story. Although FindaGrave.com has been around for 15 years, most of the cemeteries don't maintain or use the system. My goal is to get as many family members as possible to own their family tree member records and tell the story of the individual and the family. You'll notice here that there is a maintained by Simple BS, which is me, so the transaction URLs for edit, add plot, etc. would not be visible in your access to this record, but easily editable by myself. Gazelle transferred the maintenance of this record to me when I submitted updates to her. You might find many records that include what appears to be a biography or family story from a family member, but many are actually entered by the creator, whose hobby is to add the FindaGrave records based on the obituary from the paper versus a cemetery visit. Just another way to participate. By following Hap's father's link, you could quickly grow your family tree branches. Think about an app like you get in museums that talk about what you're looking at based on your location. Keep drilling back and adding the whole group for each generation. It can't get any easier than this. Pull up the stories of each individual from this database while in the cemetery. Awesome. Ancestry.com now links and presents the FindaGrave.com records for all the Ancestry.com members who are included as just another source for information. Just like Census, just like Social Security Death Index, it's just another place to get information, but it's very concentrated. So that's FindaGrave.com in December 2015. Search out your great-great-great-grandmother and see if there is a story told. If not, it's waiting on you.